On this episode of Metters Motors, we're going to introduce you to some of our projects.
We're also going to catch you up to speed on the progress we've made and what we plan to do in the future.
Here's our 1962 Plymouth Fury. I picked it up down the road real cheap and brought it home on a rollback. Now, of course, it didn't run, and it was originally equipped with a 318 poly-headed V8. That thing's been chunked, and somebody else has installed an LA 360 in it, which I've got no complaints about. I've since then got it running. You turn the key, it fires up and idles so smooth. Now, this car does have some drawbacks because of its age. The floor pans have gaping holes in them. You can see the road as you're going down the road. The trans, I couldn't get it to go into gear. I dropped the pan, it was full of clutch material. I cleaned clutch material out, still couldn't even get it to pump fluid. So I'm pretty sure you're gonna see a video of me R&Ring the trans in this vehicle. Now, if you would stay tuned, because there's gonna be a lot done to it. This beautiful piece of Asian engineering is a 1990 something Honda Civic. It's got a B20 VTEC in it with about a million something miles on it. Doesn't run really good. When I got it, it was pretty banged up. Surprisingly, she's a tart right now. When we got it back to the shop, I did some fabrication to it to make it drive again. A lot of it not very good, but it almost stayed on track for an entire season last year. I got more concussions than I got top fives, but hey, I'll count that as a win. So plan on seeing a lot more videos on this dirt track machine.
And this is our 1987 Savannah Travel Master. It's on a Toyota chassis with a 22R 4-cylinder, reliable of course. When we got this, we thought it was going to be easy, just remodel the interior. We started tearing it apart and there was mold everywhere. So we've torn all of the inside out, we've taken the roof off, fabricated an aluminum roof by the help of my dad in Trailers by Dale Sale. And we have so much more to do on the interior and the exterior. It'll definitely be a project.
This is my baby, a 1978 Firebird Formula. It's been with me through thick and thin. I bought it when I was 17 years old. I'm 34 now, so you can guess how long I've had it. It's been through more motors and transmissions than I can count. Currently, it's got a 383 small block in it with aluminum heads, cam, pistons, rods. This thing screams. It's got no problem in the get up and go department. It's currently bolted up to a Saginaw 4-speed. Now, I know a lot of you enthusiasts out there are going, Saginaw 4-speed, that thing's junk. No, it's outperformed any Muncie I've ever thrown in a car. And also, a little thing I did when I was a teenager is I went and threw a hood off of a 77 Trans Am on it and sold the Formula hood that the car originally came with. Kicking myself every day for doing that, because I really love the look of the Formula hood on these. And the first thing I'm going to be doing to this car is putting some power steering on it. Since the first time I've owned it, this car has never had power steering. I used to call it the Metters workout plan back in high school because I had triceps. They're still pretty rock hard. Not really. But I'm going to be putting power steering on it, so stay tuned because there's a lot of different things I'm going to be doing to this one. And here we've got the bikes. Up first is my very reliable, trusty Honda Shadow 600. It's a 2001 model, and when I bought it wrecked. Got it running. I've since then hardtailed it. I've jetted the carb, put a velocity stack on it, threw some white walls on it, tucked some wires. I've done a lot of, nitpicky little fabricating things to it. It's really just my whatever bike. I like bar hopping in it. Now, don't let the 600cc's fool you because it totes me around, and I'm a pretty hefty fella. Up next, we've got a 1985 Suzuki Madura 1200. Now, these bikes were way ahead of their time. They were only made a year and a half, and let me tell you, this thing has torque. It's a shaft-driven, 4-carb, 4-cylinder bike, and this thing hauls. Red lines at 9,500 RPM. I've got some work I'm going to be doing on it, so stay tuned on the videos on those. Oh, this is my favorite. 1981 Buick LeSabre that we have righteously named Tbone. We run this in the Alabama Gambler 500. Now, if you've never heard of the Gambler 500, I suggest you get online and you go to gambler500.com. It's the nation's largest trail cleanup. It's an on and off-road waypoint challenge. Now, plan on seeing a lot more videos of the Sabra as the Gambler's coming up. And by the way, did we mention that this won the 2019 Alabama Gambler 500? Who would have thunk it? An 81 La Sabra, off-road. It won.
Did we mention this is an off-road vehicle?
Anyways, stay tuned. We'll get a lot more videos out of this one.
Another project that you'll see in a future episode, my first motorcycle that I've ever owned. It's a 2001 Honda Rebel. We got it and it was super wrecked. Corey's recently straightened out the forks on the front. We've put a new tank on it. We've got a new seat. We still are gonna move back the foot pegs. My goal is kind of to make it look like a cafe racer. It's more or less just to learn on, and we'll probably sell it eventually, but there's a lot of work that we're gonna get done to it.
And this is, and this is, and this is. This is my 1930 Durant 617. It's one of 7 known left in the world, and it sits right here in my basement. I bought it from an older gentleman up in Florence, Alabama. He was really getting a little too old to pick his projects, and a lot of people got to it before I did, and a lot of people also wanted to hot rod it. When I got there to see it, I told him more about the car than he knew, and he said, I think I'm going to sell it to you. So I was able to bring it home for a good price. Once I got it here on the trailer, I got it running, drove it around the neighborhood a couple of times, and then I just pulled it in the garage and started taking it apart. Now, it was a really solid car when I got it, but you could tell that it has been through the ringer. The last known restoration on the car was a very light one in a barn in around 1962, 63. The car came with a full history on it. Now, Durant motors ran from about 1920 all the way up to about 1932, 33-ish. The Depression really hit them hard, so they went belly up pretty quick. Now, William Durant was one of the founding members of GM Motor Corporation. Now, he founded GM Motors, and he was able to get booted not once, but twice from his own company. That's some crazy information. Now, I've already done some work on the wood spoke wheels on this one, which I'm going to show you in one of my first few episodes on this vehicle. This one was also equipped with the inline 6 flathead Continental 15U. It made about 70 horsepower, and let me tell you, that motor weighs a ton to make 70 horsepower. It also had one of the first 4-speed transmissions with the silent third. This car, I'm ecstatic about, and I can't wait to show you some more videos on it. Here lies our 77 Camaro that we run the 24 hours of lemons in, and it's in timeout. I'm Corey Metters.
And I'm Cameron Metters.
And we want to thank you for watching this video.
Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel.
We can't wait to show you all of the automotive debauchery we have in store for you.
The next video is going to be where are we going to park this?